and we ponder a lot of things. At least I do. And I figured something out that maybe you guys already know that you could help me with. Have you noticed that what you think you ultimately become in some kind of way? If you're a positive person, then positive things will come around you because you think positive. And if you're a negative person, things will definitely come your way because you think negative. It doesn't mean that negative thinking people can't have positive things or positive people thinking people can't have negative things. But it's interesting to me that how we think determines a lot of how we're going to end up. When we think that the world owes us something, then we'll always be in the position where we are on welfare of the world. But when we think the world is something to be conquered, we will always move towards a destiny of independence. So what you think plays a lot into who you are, even as a person in relationships. How do you think about yourself and the next person as far as relationship, your friends, your families, your significant other? How do you think about them? What do you think about them? How do you refer to them in your common speech about them every day? Do you refer to them with loving words and kind words, or behind their back do you talk about them in a way that's not becoming of what you say they are in your life? And therefore, what you think, the hypocritical way that you think, don't think that the hypocrisy is going to show up on some of their ways they think about you. No, you're not going to always go around thinking lollipops, dewdrops, and candy canes and unicorns, but you have to understand the way you think has an impact on how you move about your day and how you will get to the goals in your future. One of the issues of the world today, we're more into feelings than thinking. We're more into what is emotional, sensational, exotic, exotic, and what's expressional more than thinking. The scriptures is replete with renewed mind of Christ. Have this mind also in you that's in Christ Jesus. Thinking, the great philosophers, thinking, the people who make our laws and determine the future of our country, regardless of what we think, they think. That's funny, regardless they think. They think. Sometimes we don't think as much as they should, but they do ponder the question. So the question today I have to ask you, what are you thinking about? What do you spend the most time thinking about? And really analyzing it to see if what you're thinking about will produce the results that you really want. It's like if you always think about eating all the time, but you know you want to lose weight, then does that thinking produce the result of losing weight? Or somehow that thinking turns into the action of maybe overeating and you don't lose weight? If you want to be in a good relationship with anybody, do you think how much you can sacrifice, serve, and satisfy them? Or is it all about you all the time? These are the things that I ponder from day to day. Your relationship spiritually, what do you believe in spiritually? If you don't believe in anything, what does that get you? Do you believe in evolution? How do you reconcile that with all the differences in the world? If you believe in God, how do you reconcile that? What do you think about? As I sit here and ponder that, again, I ask myself, what do I think about? How am I framework? How am I hardwired? What is my philosophies? How have my experiences played into the what I think and where I think? Can I break away? Sorry. Can I do that? Can I avoid that at any cost? How can I break away from the things that are negative in my life that mean me no good and not repeat them? And how can I hold on to the positive things that are good for me and then build upon that? Do we even have time to think these days with information coming at us as fast as it does? By the time you get one blip, here comes the next blip, and you didn't even have time to ponder on what you just read or saw. Technology is good, but what it's doing is eliminating our thinking and it's allowing technology to think for ourselves. Your phone is your think is where you get your information from, and your phone is and your computer is what thinks for you. It tells you what to think and how to think by the algorithms that are built towards sending you in one direction or another. Independent thinking, viable thinking, thinking about what comes next and what are the consequences of decisions that we make. Always teach decisions are like seeds. They're going to grow into something. Whether they're weeds or flowers, they're going to grow. And depending on the seed that you plant, it depends on what it's going to grow into. And you're not going to plant the seeds that are weeds and expect flowers out of them. And that's what not thinking does. It has you under illusion that you're planting one thing and you actually get another thing and you think that you deserve what you wanted, but you didn't plant it right. Your thinking wasn't right. You didn't plant the seeds to get the flowers. You planted the seeds of weeds and you want the flowers to come just because you're here. Entitlement. Stinking thinking brings about entitlement. The world owes you something just because you're here and you're breathing. Everybody's supposed to validate you in what you think and what you say and what you do and who you are. Who are you that the world needs to validate you? Your behavior, whatever it may be. Can't I disagree because I'm thinking about what you are or what you're doing to me and how you react to me? Can't I say it's wrong for me? And my worldview would say it's wrong and it'd be okay because you have an opposite worldview. You all have a right to think that. But I don't need to validate you in your thinking. Thinking is so idiosyncratic that we have lost it. We want to think in groups. But I want to talk to the free thinking people. I want to talk to opposing views. I want to talk to the keyboard gangsters that act like trolls that may have something to say. It doesn't make a difference to me. If you have something that's worthy of my thought process, I'm willing to listen to you. If it's not, it becomes trash. As an old saying says, eat the meat and spit out the bones. That's a good philosophy to think by. Receive the information, but you don't have to validate it just because it's information. Think about it. Take the time. Slow down. Tell a person when you're given an opportunity, I need to think about it. Don't let a person paint you into a corner of it has to happen now. Now, I know there's certain things that go that way, but man, give a person the time to think about it to see if it's right for them. So many times we're making decisions so fast that about the time we get into it, we realize that we weren't supposed to be doing that because we didn't take the time to think. So I want to encourage everyone out there. No, I didn't do a video, I just did an audio. What about thinking? What are you going to think about today? Next 10 minutes, next hour? What are you going to think about? So the challenge is start thinking, keep thinking, and always think because what you think has an impact on your life. This is Pastor Jay of Walk in Truth Radio Network. I always want you to be encouraged, blessed, and at peace. Remember, walk in the truth of the Lord. Keep on thinking. If you like this content, please go check out my YouTube page at Walk in Truth Radio Network. Or you can subscribe to my Facebook page, Let Us Reason Together, my personal page, James Sutton II. Or you can even check out our church page, Walk in Truth Christian Fellowship Church. That's our Facebook page also. Or you can follow me on Instagram at walk_truth. So I want you to enjoy your Monday. Think about the things you need to think about and live in the peace that God has afforded to you. So if you hear this message, you can have some peace. Just think about it.